take something too seriously? Like you just see something you vaguely don't like, and instead of keeping to yourself, you tell the people to stop having fun? You don't? Congrats! You're a normal fucking person. Today we're going over someone who isn't a normal person. A person who doesn't keep to themselves when something appears on the interwebs that they don't like. That person is some Boi Online. No, that's his actual name. The video is titled, How Kermit the Frog Has Lost His Identity. Now you may look at the title and think, oh, maybe Disney did some stupid shit and changed his character somehow. You'd be wrong in thinking that, because instead, this is a 25-minute long video of a Brit bitching about Are You Super Serial? The parody channel. That is disconnected from any official Muppet media. Anyways, let's get into it.
Oh, she is my jam! This for the
What is happening?
Kermit singing in the car.
Oh god. Well, I see you've came across those Kermit parodies on YouTube.
You say that as if he came across someone fucking his mom on Pornhub.
Is that the one where they go on the late night drive and sing that Usher song?
No! No late nights and no Usher!
It's worth mentioning that Usher cameoed in Muppets Most Wanted.
I never want this to happen again!
Okay. I mean, if you want, I could always, I don't know, make a video on it?
Yeah?
It's gotta be worth a try, you know? Spread awareness of all these fake Kermits going around.
If Disney can't shut down foreign bootleggers, then the chances are you can't either. So then Boi talks about the time they changed Kermit's Muppeteer/VA, which is unrelated, so we're skipping it.
Though the topic of today's video is an entirely separate issue.
As if people don't make parodies of other media besides the Muppets.
Being how not only Kermit's voice, but his personality overall has been distorted over time through the mass consumption of online parody videos.
Because clearly, parodies affect canon material, right?
These may just seem like light-hearted fun on the internet.
It is.
But the reality is that they are contributing heavily to Kermit the Frog ultimately losing his identity.
How? How is an obvious parody joke video taking away the canon identity? Next, Boi explains that parents give their kids phones to keep them quiet nowadays, and that's bad, which I 100% agree with. So we're gonna skip ahead a bit.
But this isn't kids' television channels or VHS tapes and DVDs, like in the old days, which actually have rating systems and censorship.
Are you implying that censorship is somehow a good thing?
This is the hellscape otherwise known as the internet.
Refrigerator. Yes, Papa. Do you have water?
You're not funny. Also, Are You Super Serial isn't the same as Elsagate. Stop acting like it is.
You might have heard of the channel Cocomelon, who make these poorly animated and overall just bizarre kids' nursery rhyme videos, which aren't official by any stretch of the imagination. And yet, just one example I've found has amassed 3 billion views.
Yeah, I agree, that is dumb, but what does this have to do with Kermit?
So, how does Kermit the Frog fit into all this? Well, if you type in Kermit on YouTube, you might expect to see some trailers and scenes from, the multi-million-dollar Muppet movies, maybe some interviews with celebrities from Kermit's 60-plus years of rich history. But no, instead, you get this.
You see this? Yeah, take it, fuck it. Fuck you! No, I don't want him on the show. Kermit, here's a knife. Oh, if there's no fucking camera in here, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass.
Yeah, you get good, hilarious content.
There are a few others and 1 or 2 actual Muppet videos, but the suggestions predominantly shown are that of the channel Are You Super Serial?
Yeah, he's a popular Kermit-related YouTuber, so of course he's gonna show up first. If you're looking for official Muppet media, why not just go pirate it like a normal person? Oh, were you expecting me to promote Disney Plus? Yeah, I'd rather eat a bologna shit sandwich.
Which has amassed 1.75 million subscribers. significantly more than the actual Muppets YouTube channel.
Maybe because people aren't looking to watch the Muppets on YouTube and would rather watch more official places that aren't YouTube.
With most uploads consistently gaining millions of views. The most popular being Kermit the Door Salesman Gone Wrong, which currently stands at 25 million. So what gives? The channel must surely be bursting with original and quality content to be watched by such a huge audience, right?
Yep.
Kermit, yeah, Kermit, get up.
No!
Get your ass up. Damn, you nailed him.
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious.
The premise of this entire channel is that the guy has a cheap Kermit puppet.
Even though in the video you mentioned earlier, he says that it was very expensive.
Like, this is literally, this is not part of the video anymore. I did not mean to actually do this. This is $200.
Videos are vlogs akin to those of Logan Paul.
Yeah, we're just gonna name an infamous vlogger as our example, instead of one that people actually like, as to make it seem worse than it actually is.
You know, clickbait and all.
The thumbnail for this video is literally Kermit's penis. Do not tell me about clickbait when you very clearly try to clickbait with Kermit's penis.
Which consist of him and his mates, one of whom performs an Elmo puppet, travelling to various locations.
Half true. They do have some vlogs where videos are more skit orientated. Also, they have other characters too. Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Miss Piggy, Constantine. Funny how they watched The Most Wanted, but you clearly didn't, given your No More Usher comment.
On the surface, this all seems like good fun, and I'll admit, when I first saw Kermit singing Shorty I Don't Mind in 2016, yeah, that was him, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't amused by the obscenity of the whole thing.
If you think it's funny, then why even bother complaining?
Sure, as a one-off type of deal, you know, for a laugh. But the problem lies in that he's exploiting the, dare I say, copyright-protected character of Kermit for his own financial gain.
Oh no! How dare he make money off of this IP that was created by someone else? Say, who owns the Muppets again? Oh yeah, those guys. How sad. How sad that the multi-million-dollar organization isn't the sole group making content with Kermit. Don't get me wrong, Kermit is far from a product of greed. But Disney isn't losing any money in sleep or tears in regards to Are You Super Cereal. Also, do you just not know what a parody is?
And that's far from the worst of it. You may be wondering, what kind of audience demographic would watch this repetitive content and still derive some humour from it?
People like Kermit?
Well, the answer quickly becomes clear once you so much as dip your toe into the comments section of these videos. Once I realised this, it all makes sense. The entire channel is designed to bait children.
Because clearly you can just tell they're children from reading a single comment.
Which is also reflected in the way that he talks down to his viewers and manipulates them into doing things through the use of the puppet characters.
Guys, Kermit the Frog gave me exactly 15 seconds to tell you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Serial Gaming, link in the description or the top of the video. Go click it, go subscribe.
Here, I'll make you guys a deal. Okay. 2,500 likes on this video, and I'll put the new character in the next video.
Before you can enter this house, you have to leave 1 like on this video.
Because asking the viewer to like and subscribe is manipulation now, apparently.
You've got to remember, we're talking really young children here.
Why are really young children on non-kids YouTube? It seems more like a failure in parenting.
So, of course they're going to do what Kermit says, which explains the mass following once the YouTube algorithm got a hold of these videos.
Or maybe people just like the content, so they like and subscribe and the YouTube algorithm suggests his content more.
Okay, so it's generally quite scummy, but it's not just that. Remember all that Momo stuff a couple of years back?
Oh, you mean the thing that was a hoax and didn't actually exist? But even if it did exist, are you seriously comparing asking for likes and subs to traumatizing children?
That just goes to show that you can never underestimate how literally kids take this kind of thing. And is the Kermit depicted in these videos a good role model?
No, because it's not a content creator's job to be a role model for anyone, let alone children. Okay, so he starts playing some clips of Kermit doing inappropriate behavior between clips of Kermit in public where he encountered kids, basically phrasing it and editing as if they're a part of the same video or in the same location of the children, to which No. And also, there's no real sign that these kids are super serial fans. Chances are these kids just saw someone with a Kermit puppet and a camera and decided to say hi because they like Kermit. I don't know what this was supposed to accomplish outside of implying them to either be irresponsible or imply them to be pedophiles, but it's dumb and manipulative, so we're skipping this.
RU Super Serial's motives are pretty clear.
Yeah, he's making funny YouTube videos.
I don't think I've seen a YouTuber practically beg for likes and subscribers to such an extent before.
Then you haven't been on this website long enough.
Along with the aforementioned clickbait and of course ads galore.
Use an ad block. Problem solved.
I do find it quite funny that he's frantically trying to get people to subscribe to his new gaming channel, as he's clearly burned out from years of Kermit videos.
Or maybe he just wants to do gaming and decides to direct viewers to that channel for gaming.
It's like, as much as I enjoy the Muppets, and despite the fact that my own videos featuring Kermit seem to be the most popular on the channel, I try to vary my content as to not confine myself to one particular franchise.
Is him making gaming videos not doing exactly that?
Which I know would be hard to maintain long term. Long story short, the focus is on my own thoughts and opinions on these topics, which I can only assume others enjoy hearing and thus subscribe. Whereas with RU Super Serial, his younger audience are there for solely one reason: to see Kermit.
Okay. And?
So, coming back to the gaming channel, notice how there's prominent artwork of himself.
Yeah, because it's his channel.
Like he's trying to make out he's the reason people subscribe. Merchandise-wise, he's kinda screwed because the stars of his show are Kermit and Elmo, whom he obviously cannot reproduce the likeness of in his merchandise, so he made this plush of himself, which, to no surprise, nobody was really interested in.
Even though the videos are the main focus and not the merch.
He's just desperately clinging to some form of originality when his entire channel is anything but.
Because anyone who makes parodies is unoriginal, apparently.
Like, are we supposed to like the guy who coerces young children to watch inappropriate content?
Ah, so you're trying to call him a pedophile. Fuck you.
And profits from the works of others?
Yeah, the work of $1 million corporation that underpays its employees.
Not before shoving his mansion, $150,000 gaming setup and sports car in everyone's faces.
Compared to the poor souls at Disney that make little to no money, clearly.
Holy shit, look at all the stuff we own. We can put anything into this film. We got Pixar, oh, we can put Marvel in, oh, Fox, why not?
Kermit is prominently featured in every thumbnail to draw viewers in.
Yeah, because they like Kermit.
When he's often only featured briefly in the actual video, before the focus shifts to RU Super Serial himself, which is clearly a ploy to redirect the viewer's attention to himself.
Because it's his channel, so of course he's going to be featured in it.
Also, notice how there's never any reference to Jim Henson, Disney, or indeed
the Muppet name itself.
Jim Henson is dead, rest in peace, and Disney can suck a truck.
Like, he doesn't even seem to care about the Muppets as a franchise.
How do you know that? You don't know what he watches on his free time.
It's just never mentioned. Almost as though he wants Kermit to be solely associated with his channel, as opposed to the Muppets.
Or maybe he just likes Kermit and wants to show his Kermit content to like-minded people.
Whilst also trying to protect his arse from legal repercussions, which somehow haven't yet transpired.
Yes, let's solely imply that Disney should do the Nintendo thing to Serial's channel. Also, the fact that swears and crude humor exist in the channel is enough to call it a parody. Once again, Disney can suck a truck.
I mean, hey, if this is all his grand master plan, then it's coming along pretty well.
And he will keep on biggering and biggering.
With the channel starting in 2017, which was a pretty fragile year for the Muppets, as it's the same year that the actual performer of Kermit, Steve Whitmire, was fired. This has ultimately resulted in the decline of the Muppets as of late, whilst RU Super Serial goes from strength to strength.
Ah, maybe Disney should start making good Muppet media then.
Like I said earlier, when kids search for Kermit the Frog, this is what they see, not the real deal. And if that isn't confusing enough, what even is the real deal at this point?
Official Muppet media?
It's just baffling to me that Disney, being the supposedly big bad conglomerate that they've presented themselves as in recent years, just don't seem to care.
Because it's not affecting them and they care even less about the Muppets than any YouTuber will.
Can you imagine if one day you turn on, say, Nickelodeon or another TV channel that's not owned by Disney? I'm struggling to think. And just see someone performing Kermit in a program without any prior negotiations with Disney.
Didn't earlier you make the distinction that curated television is different from YouTube?
Years ago, the argument could be made that YouTube is just for daft videos that aren't taken seriously.
Didn't earlier you make the distinction that curated television is different from YouTube?
But with the platform being as mainstream as it is nowadays, it may as well be television. So overall, this is just one of those conundrums that gives you a headache to think about.
Oh, it's simple. You keep up the status quo and treat it the same as before.
Not to mention the irreparable damage being done to the characters, and no, I don't just mean physically. But the constant profanity and, well, try and think of the most inappropriate scenarios you could hope to display on television, because these puppets have probably been involved in them.
And it's hilarious.
For example, what have we got here? Kermit the Frog has sex with Mom on Call of Duty.
So it's bad when it's not PG, but it's still bad when it is. Make up your mind.
Kermit the Frog and angry Mom make out in McDonald's drive-thru. Can I just interject here, what the hell is his obsession with moms?
I mean, can you blame him?
But with content like this, is it any wonder that mental health issues in younger children have skyrocketed in recent years?
Ah yes, Kermit said fuck, and ever since then I just wanted to commit Anhero.
Sesame Street, for example, was designed to help children understand the world around them.
Elmo, not today, and please don't talk so loud.
So loud?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Green Frog.
Good.
Elmo, not talk loud.
Fine.
You are Cookie Monster.
With painstaking amounts of thought going into every aspect, which explains its longevity. Now, to contrast this, kids of the modern day will have a smartphone shoved in their faces to keep them quiet, and be met with this.
Elmo, you're scared the fucking shit out of me!
You do realize kids still watch Sesame Street, right?
Do you think Are You Super Serial cares about the long-term negative impact of what he's doing?
No, because his content isn't causing that. Bad parenting is.
As long as he's raking in that cash. These types of channels are becoming more and more prevalent, to the point that they're a seemingly unstoppable force. And if the bigger, scarier companies aren't going to put them in their place...
Which means abusing their power and making everyone hate them more.
In addition to Are You Super Serial, his mate, who I mentioned does the Elmo voice before, started a channel of his own, being the DAI Trickster, which is the exact same as the other one, but from his perspective. Surely people wouldn't fall for that. You know, it can't have that many... 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah, people want similar content from similar content creators.
Oh, and look, better make sure Are You Super Serial's name is in every title. Then you're guaranteed at least a couple 100,000 views.
Didn't you say before that the man himself was irrelevant? What changed?
The whole aura of these channels is just so artificial and disingenuous. But the sad thing is, this circle of people isn't even the end of it. Maximili is another channel that just uploads videos of a Kermit puppet talking abuse to people on Omegle.
Because making sex jokes and jokes in general is abuse now. Also, Maximili has different characters as well, both canon and OCs, so yeah, he's more original than the light you paint cereal in.
The thing that got me thinking about all of this in the first place was a comment on my previous video, in which a clearly younger person had written, "Oh, I love Kermit, my favourite was when he sang Never Gonna Give You Up." And I thought to myself, did he? Looking this up led me to this video, with over 5 million views. Surprise, surprise, another fake Kermit.
It's literally footage from an existing Disney show. How is it fake in any way aside from the fucking music? Also, Citation needed.
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here, and the next song I'm about to sing is a song that was made famous by the great Rick Astley. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
What astonishes me here is that it sounds even less like Kermit and more like Fozzie, if anything.
That's the joke.
Nobody questions it, it's just like, oh yeah, that's Kermit. What makes it worse is that it's dubbed over the music video of Kermit singing Talking Heads from an episode of Muppets Tonight, which likely played a part in deceiving my commenter and many others into thinking this was genuine.
Or maybe people are playing into the joke and got into the Muppets unironically from the meme.
YouTube is free and therefore more convenient for parents than, say, Disney Plus, which is essentially the only other way to view Muppet content in this digital age.
Have you tried piracy?
What they see on the screen is Kermit, so to them, what's the difference? To conclude, maybe I'm missing something here, but these videos just have zero entertainment value and are merely devices to gain views. However, it's not even solely a matter of taste. From whichever perspective you look at it, what our YouTuber serial especially is doing here is fundamentally wrong by every definition. If this was the film and TV industry, it would have been a case of throw away the key.
Because the film industry is run by a pie chart, a bar graph, and a bunch of people who are either idiots or pedophiles.
Alas, this is YouTube, so these grey areas are continuously exploited. And if you dig deep enough, somewhere under all of this is a man named Jim Henson, the original creator and performer of Kermit the Frog.
Because googling who created Kermit is so hard.
Who has gone on record to say that Kermit's personality was essentially an extension of his own.
Isn't it a bit of trivia that Jim Henson was a Rizzler with his female co-stars? But no, he would never rizz up a mom on Xbox. He would never do that.
The aforementioned characteristics portrayed in these videos go against everything that Jim Henson stood for, as he developed children's shows which carried great value not only in terms of entertainment but also education, teaching children important morals and, well, human decency.
Jim Henson literally dreaded being a children's entertainer, as stated in the defunct TV documentaries about him. He tried making edgier Muppet content, when literally called Sex and Violence, but most of these were turned down by out-of-touch TV executives because puppets are for kids, as they said.
Even when he moved on to the likes of The Muppet Show and subsequent feature films, which were targeted more at adult audiences, he lovingly crafted humour that appealed to all ages through compelling performances and overall just skillful and passionate filmmaking. This couldn't be further from the shoddy, vulgar and unoriginal content that's being watched by millions.
I mean, of course the man with Disney money is gonna make a better product than some YouTuber. That isn't to say Jim didn't have talent. He did. Loads of it. But he also had access to things a YouTuber just doesn't have unless a network sees eye to eye with them.
If you think back to your own childhood, you probably have nostalgic connections with old films, TV shows, and video games that seem like an ever-present form of entertainment going on in the background. My question is, what are the children of today going to reflect on when they're older?
Why should I care?
What type of person is going to come from a child raised purely on this?
Just be thankful they aren't being raised on Skibbity Toilet. Lest we forget.
The original intention of these videos was to be parodic. But what happens when the original source material becomes forgotten and these parodies take their place?
If it's on Disney Plus, then clearly there's a market for official Muppet stuff. Anyways, gamers, have a good night.